your funeral isn't something that's top of mind for most people. The majority of people plan a funeral when it's needed. And that's a tough chore to tackle during that process of grieving. Advanced planning can be key to peace of mind. Joining me today with more on what advanced planning means is Jeff Edwards and Beth Buxton with Edwards Funeral Home. Welcome back to both of you.
Thank you.
Jeff, I want to start with you because I think one of the biggest drawbacks that people have when they think of advanced planning is the cost of advanced planning. And they may not see that as doable at this time in their life. Is that the truth? Do you have to advance plan both planning and money?
That's an excellent question, and it's actually two components, planning and then pre-funding. So what I recommend is people come in and at least get the planning, get your ideas and your wants down on paper, and then we can discuss the costs today, and if it is feasible, then we can discuss how to do that, but it's not a requirement of pre-planning. It's pre-funding the pre-plan.
Do they go hand in hand? But Beth, do you have to do both? That's the question too.
Yes, they do go hand in hand, but you do not have to do both. What we like to do is bring families in, evaluate their individual situation, because sometimes they have another financial means of how they want to pay for things. So we like to bring them in, evaluate it, educate them on their options, and then they can make an informed choice if prepaying is really what they need to do.
What are some of the details that are included in pre-planning?
Pre-planning, when they come in, we like to go ahead and gather as much information as possible. So it makes it much simpler at the time of a death on the family, the surviving family members. So we'll gather information such as biographical, obituary information, type of service you'd like to have, copy all of that down, and then evaluate what your selections are and give you a quote or the price of what you've just chosen.
Something to do ahead of time just to take that load off when it's needed, right, Beth?
That's right.
And Jeff, I'm sure you worked with families who have done both, advanced planning and those who have not. And I bet it's a much smoother process for those families who have some idea of what they're going to do.
It is. I mean, I hear it from families that we serve in an at-need situation that they were so glad they took care of this 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It just makes the process much easier for them. But I wanted to add that they don't necessarily have to come in. We'd be happy to come out to the home as well if it's not convenient for them to travel into the funeral home.
Okay, let's get back to the payment, Beth, because I want to make sure that people understand that when you said prepayment, maybe some, as you say, are taking monies from someplace else, and maybe those monies aren't available at the time that they do their pre-planning. That's okay?
It is okay. We can go ahead and evaluate that. For example, if they have an existing life insurance policy that's valid and they want to assign that to the funeral home or possibly not assign it, we at least look at that to make sure it's going to cover expense. Maybe they have an account, like a retirement type account they're counting on. We try to look at that though to see if those funds can be accessible at the time, because some assets are frozen once death occurs if there's not another joint owner on that asset or someone can't get into that account. So then we have to guide you in advance to see if maybe you want to take a portion of that money and come in and go ahead and pay. The real value of paying in advance is going ahead and guaranteeing the funeral service and merchandise costs. You can guarantee all of that in advance, and so your family won't have this huge shock at the time they're coming in to make arrangements.
Will that price go up though? Say it's 10 years from now.
It will not, because prepaying guarantees the cost. That's one of the true benefits of prepayment. There are items that can go up, such as obituary notices, cemetery costs, if they haven't went to the cemetery and prepaid, or flowers, for example, costs that are outside of the funeral home's control. Those can go up, and people do get upset when they come in. They're like, I thought Mom locked all that in. Well, we can't do that. Just people need to realize we can do services and merchandise.
Jeff, what if a family decides they need to go somewhere else or another location or out of state, and they've already paid money to you? What happens? That's
the beauty of it. The pre-need is transferable to any other provider. The only thing to be concerned about is that the guarantee may not transfer. For example, if someone pre-plans with us, another provider does not have to honor the prices that we had and set in stone. Of course,
but that money's not lost.
That money is not lost, and they can take that with them.
I understand you have a pre-planning kit. Beth, explain how viewers can get a hold of that.
If they go onto our website at www.edwardsfuneralservice0905 and they click, there's a large icon like right at our homepage that says Advanced Planning Kit. They click on that. It's an 18-page document, and it's very informative. It's not just here's some forms, fill them out, and give us your biographical information. It actually is a resource. A lot of good information in it, so you can educate yourself on your own by reading that kit.
Very good stuff and a great place to start. Beth, Jeff, thank you so much again for filling us in. Nice to have you.
Thank you.